we're going to do over 800 million, clear and concise of 800 million, and how to get there within not 10 years, within the next 5 years.
Talk a little bit about where'd you end last year in revenue in your business?
Yeah, last year we ended around 21
million.
And we're stuck there for a couple years too.
Yeah. And so it's towards the end of last year, you make the big bold move. You and I start dialogue, we start putting the planning in place and doing what we do, and you started coming to our little events and learning. But more importantly, we started opening comms to each other and started attacking bigger situations faster.
Mm-hmm.
What's happened in your business in just the 7 or 8 months we've been working together?
It's crazy because I just came in today, and a lot of times my goal is to be at 50 million. Right now we're at a run rate to do 38 million this year. But I always get frustrated of like, we got to be at 50 million. And then especially getting around you, even over the past couple of days of like, oh, we got to go even bigger, 50 million. We got to go to 100 million within the next 12 months instead. And the great thing too is like we're here today and there's a whole entire plan that you've put together that is all clear and concise on exactly how to get even beyond just those numbers. So my thinking over the past 48 hours has just expanded tremendously from it. So now we're on a run rate of 38 million. But when I come in here, I'm like, man, I guess we have come a long way.
Yeah, so let's unpack that for a minute. You were flat at 21 million a year because of the engagement and the focus and dealing with the most important things and attacking them with attack speed and I talk about and the things that I help people do. You literally, your business is on a run rate to almost double.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In 12 months.
Yep.
And you being the competitor, you're like, yeah, but that's not good enough. I want to push it. I want it bigger. I wanted 50 million, which is what I love about you. That's why I love working with you. But now we engineered your actual business model based on the facts, not based on your gut, not based on what you hope to do, not based on what somebody told you maybe you could do, but the facts, like based on data, the way we engineer businesses. And you just sat through 2 days of that being delivered to you. And now you have a clear, concise, direct picture to do how much revenue.
Now we're going to do over 800 million, clear and concise of 800 million, and how to get there within not 10 years, within the next 5 years. And what are the gaps that we need to fill? And the great thing is too, the Cardone Ventures team has the team already to fill many of those gaps that are already there, that's been set in place. So I don't have to worry about it too much like, oh man, now I gotta go and find these people and those people. It's the best thing about working with you. Like, let me just connect you with a few people that are part of the team. They'll fill in the gaps. You don't have to worry, and that's made me a lot more clear-minded. And now I can focus more on the vision of 800 million. I see it now. How do we get to 1 billion? How do we even expand that even further?
You and I spent last night saying, okay, we've engineered a plan to get to 800. It shows what needs to be in place, where it needs to be in place, what are the avatars, how are we going to message to them, how are we going to go out and get it. Like, we engineered that plan, right? Mm-hmm. And we're sitting there last night going, okay, what if we actually want to go to 1 billion or 2 billion? What else could we add to that to do it bigger, better, faster? And I think for me, that's what I love about working with entrepreneurs like you. And this is why I love partnering with Grant Cardone, because this whole 10X mentality of, okay, now I have a clear picture, but it's still not big enough. Because you didn't know that $800 million opportunity existed 6 months ago. You were working against, what did you do the year before? Oh, if I could get my 10% growth or my 20% growth. Now all of a sudden working together, we're almost going to do a double. And we have this picture of 800 million, so we're both sitting there saying, we should still believe bigger than 800 million.
Oh yeah, yep. And the best thing too is when I go back home and I deliver this and unpackage this to the team, they're always gonna say, oh, Ruben, he's always thinking big and always talking big. Like, let me show you the paperwork and let me show you the logical, clear, concise plan on exactly how we're gonna do that. Then it becomes so much more real in the minds of all of our team members, and they start seeing how their lives can change too. And that's what I'm all about, is my whole entire mission is to inspire others to elevate their lives. And a lot of times people need to see the clear and concise path written out for them. They don't have big enough faith in themselves or something greater to say there's something big that's going to happen in their life. Now I have a clear plan on exactly, look at it, it's right here in paper. Here's how your life is going to
And what's in it for you, what the future opportunities are going to be for people that help us create that opportunity.
100%.
I read a stat once, or I heard it once, or I made it up, and it's my own stat. I think the stat is 80% of people can't believe it until they see it. And 20% of people can believe it before they see it. So having the architectural plan, having the written strategy, having the future opportunities for people to come alongside you and what's in it for them and how they win personally, professionally, financially, a network target for a group of people to be able to help build that.
Yes.
how good does it feel to actually have a physical representation, a picture, a clear picture that you can sit down and say, guys, team, gals, this is where we're going.
That gives me even 110% confidence to bring on a person who comes from an even bigger company than we're at right now and saying, hey, coming on board, let me just show you the plan. Here it is, all laid out. You want to be a part of this and help build this, or you want to still do what you're doing right now where you're not growing? You want to be a part of this rocket ship that's growing tremendously, and this is where we're going. This is where the moon is, and this is the exact plan on how to get to the moon. Or you can still stay on where you're at and be nice and cushy and comfortable. I'm looking for people who want to get on the rocket ship, and if they need a clear and concise plan, I got it all laid out already. Look at this big old book. Boom. You want to see it? Let's go.
And your mindset about the quality of people, because when we first talked 8 months ago, you're like, I just need this executive level person, and I just need that. And I'm like, dude, you're thinking too small. You need to be hiring for 2 or 3 break points up, not hiring where you're at right now, because now you're already behind.
Yep.
And the speed in which you have the opportunity to grow, whoever you hire today before you see the plan is not going to have the skill set you're going to need tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And so we've been interviewing together. That's one of the things you asked me to help you do, help find the right talent. And so as a business owner 7 or 8 months ago, thinking about, oh, I'm going to go hire somebody, it's probably going to cost me 100, 250 grand, whatever, versus hiring the right people that you need to actually execute to the plan, that have the competency and have the leadership abilities. How much have you opened your eyes about what it's really going to take so you can put the right team together?
I think it's one of those things that you always talk about of being 3 feet from gold, where it's just one person away from a huge explosion, and that one person who has the right mindset and the person that has all the right skill set to go to a whole nother level. Where I was thinking of like, oh, how do I get just one person to fill in a little gap that we have right here? We'll pay them a little bit amount too. It's like, no, let's invest into someone for who we're going to be in the next 2 years, not on who we're going to be next year, who we're going to be in the next 2 years, and help us get there. It's just that one person has made a world of a difference right there in getting that and making our clear, concise plan that we have laid out for us much more of a reality and executing it even more and greater and faster.
Well, now we can build incentive plans, stock option plans. We can show people that if you come in for the next 3 to 5 years, you help us build a $500 million, $1 billion company. Here's what your net worth can be. So now you can attract higher quality people with bigger ambitions because they have a clear picture about what's in it for them, right?
That's it. And it all started with just getting around you. We were like, I was talking about like, oh, we're doing pretty good, you know, it's going pretty well. Here's an EBITDA and everything, you know, thinking about getting this and going there. And you're like, okay, cool. This is what we did last year, and here's our run rate and how we're growing. Like, I think we gotta go a little bit bigger. I'm thinking too small.
It's good to be around people that are killing it, right?
It sure is. It sure is.
I think it's important for people to listen because they're going to be like, oh, the dude wrote a check for $1 million. Maybe his revenue is doubling in size, but is he making more money? How long did it take you with things we worked on together to not only recover the $1 million that you wrote me that day, but get a huge return on it?
You know, within 3 months. And the reason why it wasn't sooner is because I was delaying. The whole team was reaching out of like, hey, Brandon wants to get involved with you. Brandon wants to like talk to you. I'm like, man, I got my whole entire like 2-3 weeks set up, and we're trying to get together and everything too. So it could have been even faster, but 3 months, yeah, it happened within 3 months.
So look, so last year you did 21 million, and you were making, I'd pick a number, 3, 4, 5 million bucks, right? How much more are you going to make this year?
Oh my gosh, I think we're 60 to 70% year over year growth, bottom line. Profitability, yep.
If someone says to you, oh, was that $1 million, was it worth it? What would you say?
Oh, absolutely. Even my friends will say it's worth it too, because my friends that I've brought around the circle and the proximity, even to you and to the team, they've benefited from it before too, or now.
At first they were like, I'm sure I can only be a fly on the wall, but I'm sure the conversation is like, you did what?
Yeah.
Are you insane? That guy talked you out of that?
Yep.
Or talked you into it? You should have talked to me first, and you're a crazy dude, and you're just searching and thrashing. And now, what are those same friends saying?
Oh, those same friends are thinking even bigger. They're like, man, I was thinking too small. Like, thank you for introducing me to some of the people you've introduced me to, and introducing me to Brandon, and it's gotten me into a whole nother circle and a whole nother mindset. I thought I was doing pretty well. I was at the top of my company, top of what I've built and everything, over 20,000 people. I'm the top of the top in that industry. And now they're thinking, man, I wasn't doing anything.
We can get so much bigger.